Hello, everyone. So I got this comment and a few similar comments on my previous YouTube videos saying, how are you managing your portfolio in the current scenario? We're all suffering from the bloodbath, and watching all your lakhs of profits decreasing each day is really painful. Please upload some new videos sharing your experience and your expertise of handling such situations. So, a disclaimer first, I don't have expertise of handling such situations. All I do is I always turn on my stoic hat. What I think about is what are the metrics that I can control, and then I just put my energies on improving those matrices. Now, the only two metrics that I can control is how much money I've put into the market and how much time I can invest into the market. So, if you look into your portfolio, your holdings, rather than worrying about this, what you should be worrying about is this. This is the amount of money that you can put into the market and how long can you hold it? And I'm going to explain why. The first thing that I want to say, and I want to point out this fact from the comment, is watching your lakhs of profits decreasing each day. This is fake. This is not real. This is just fairy dust. When you look at this number and it goes up and down, it shouldn't mean anything to you. Honestly, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's just a number. It's going to be just a point in the chart in the longest period of time. It's not going to matter because this is not real. It's fake. It's literally not a real number, right? So you only make it real by panicking, by selling, by making those rash decisions. You have a choice to make it real, but unless you make it real, it's just a fake number, right? And this is a mindset. It may not be the truth, but the mindset works in my favor. And I choose to use this mindset to stay invested, to stay calm, and to keep putting money into the market. Because I've seen this number cross 1 CR. I've seen this number come back to 40 lakhs. Right now it's 45 lakhs. I've seen this number in different variants. But at this point, I couldn't care less about this number. When I make some videos, I would open my portfolio, I would see this number. But the money that I've invested is the real number that I dream about. This is the number that I want to improve and keep improving. This is the number that I obsess about, followed by the amount of time I can stay into the market. If you were to look at things in the short term, you can obviously say that, wow, this portfolio has been going down since a while. And then you could just zoom out and say, wow, this portfolio has been performing really well. So when you zoom out on things and the more long term you go, the better results you will get. The time in the market is way more important than timing the market. Now, it doesn't matter what's happening in the world right now. My kids, when they get this portfolio, they may not even remember who Trump was. Maybe they read it in a history book. Maybe they read this event about the tariffs in a book. He may even be dead when my kids are looking at their portfolio, which is going to be my portfolio passed on to them. How would it matter to them? I don't see the value in stressing about this kind of news because I like to have a simple, holistic, and zoomed out view of things. And the same thing applies to when I'm investing. The same thing applies to business. In a longer period of time, these short volatility does not matter. If you're in your 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, you have time in your hands. The last of your concerns should be what's happening with the market. What's more important is how do you generate more revenue so that you can invest more into the market and you can stay invested into the market. So that's the fundamental mindset aspect of things. Once you've cleared that, and that's the most important thing, once you've cleared the mindset, you can take action. But if your mindset is in the wrong place, you will be a consumer. You'll be looking at news, you'll be looking at content creators, you'll be looking at people talking about the best stock picks to buy in this market, or you could even be panic selling in this situation and you could be making this fake number real in some sense, because when you sell, you make it real. You have the choice to make it real. But if you have time in your hands, you don't have to make it real right now, right? So you can use the time in your favor, and instead of all of this noise, you could be spending time thinking about how can you generate more income in this situation, and that's going to get you much better, far ahead in life than thinking about what strategy you should use. Now, once that's clear, let's get to the strategy because it remains exactly the same as what you do. So, as an index investor, I invest in the index. So, I don't really have to bother much about this situation, right? You can see that my top holdings are still the mid cap 150, the next 50, the Nifty 50. Of course, in this situation right now, I am going a little bit more into the large cap. I am investing back into the Nifty 50 because I see that this is a great opportunity to invest there. I'm not saying that you should just be sitting with cash on your hands. If you see something, dropping by 4 5% in a day or in a few days, why not put in more money if you have money on your hands? But the important thing is not to do the opposite, not to worry about the decreasing profits because they are just a number unless you realize them. So don't realize them. Not to panic, just keep buying. That's all you should be doing in this market. So, what I'm doing is I have my main investments, which I continue to do. I have my Nifty 50, the next 50, the mid cap 150, even the NASDAQ and gold. If you were to look at the performance in 3 months, 1 month, you would see that, for example, in 1 month, you can see that the Nifty has been almost the same as where it was. The NASDAQ is down 13%, gold is up 1.79%. 3 months, gold is up 13%, NASDAQ is down 17%, Nifty is down 4%. And I'm not saying that it couldn't get worse. Right now, it's not bad. If you have gold, you have balanced a little bit with the losses that you have from your equity. It's not that bad, but it could get worse. I don't know. I don't have the answer. And I'm quite sure that no one has the right answer for this. People can guess, people can predict something. Sometimes it'll come true. It's all about probability. So it doesn't really matter what the answer is. If you had to strategically do anything, you just want to make more money and you want to put that money into the market consistently. So since we don't know what's going to happen with the market, how do we put the money into the market? That's the good question. I think the first question about what to do when you see these losses, as for me, it's not a good question. If that question is coming across, means you are too attached to your portfolio returns rather than to your portfolio investment amount. I think it's if everyone gets attached to the amount that they invest, I think we'll have way more successful investors in this world. Now, what should you do if you have some cash? Let's say you have 10 lakh rupees. I would say if you have a consistent way of generating income. So, for example, if you can say, I'm going to make, I'm going to make a lakh to 2 lakh rupees every month. In that case, I would say take 4 to 5 lakh rupees, 40 to 50%. And when you see a big dip like this, put in the money in the index. And when you make more money, keep consistently putting in the index. If you have 10 lakh rupees, let's say, but you're not sure about your income level, then work on your revenue streams, work on your income sources, but put in, let's say, 1 to 2 lakhs when you see a huge dip. People are going crazy, people are selling, there's fear in the market. That's a good time to buy. And then you can keep seeing those opportunities and keep putting money in the index. The third way, which is the safest way, I believe, is to just continue your SIPs and focus on your revenue streams, right? Only when you have a certain revenue streams that are already working for you, maybe they are partly passive, that's when you have the opportunity to say, okay, today I'm going to put in this much, just like what I do. When I see a comment like this is the time that I put in a few lakhs into the market. It's a signal for me that I can invest right now. And my YouTube community is very helpful because I don't like to look at the market, right? So if you guys know, I'm building a coffee business. I've been traveling the last few weeks. And these comments really help me to go check the market and then put money into the market. So thank you all for these kinds of comments. But at the same time, for your own personal benefit, I would like you to be more calm, more relaxed, and just follow this simple strategy. So let me share this deck which I've made, which will sort of summarize the action items that we've just spoken about. So let's go. So this is what I would say. Stick to a simple long-term approach. So your approach is going to be the one that works best for you in the long term. And then what you want to do is you want to follow this three. You want to do index investing, rupee cost averaging, and ignore the noise. Now, invest when you see the opportunity, but remember one thing, that the time in the market beats timing the market. That's the final takeaway that I would say. So, when it comes to this core strategy, of course, I would say that my strategy is to think of the index as Nifty 50, Next 50, Mid Cap 150, and the NASDAQ 100. That's something that I consistently keep putting money in, and my small cap is automated with an SIP. Right, to rupee cost averaging, that's what we are doing when we have an SIP, or in my case, I'm doing it manually whenever I get the opportunity, because my business has certain revenue numbers, and when they go up high, I can take that money and I can put it into the market. And I am really good at ignoring the noise. So if you're good at ignoring the noise, you can stick to your strategy for the longest period of time and get the best returns. And not just that, you won't be worried. And the other thing, the other benefit of that is you won't be looking at this market noise, and you'll be able to enjoy life. You'll be able to connect with your family at a deeper level. You'll be able to have more time with your family, more time with your business if that's what you're pursuing right now. And that's my message to all of you. And that's the update of what I'm doing in these market corrections. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.